folks, welcome back and thank you so much for joining. So today, we're going to talk about lights, but managed to turn on the camera in time to work on a little project that is going to need to be done before lights. In other words, something to put the lights on. So I've managed to remember to turn the camera on today, and it's a Monday, so we're starting out good. And speaking of Mondays, as a man, I know some statistics about Mondays and heart attacks, and that is that men fill up the emergency rooms on Mondays with heart attacks. It's a stress-related thing. So my advice is, if you embrace Mondays, you've already beat the odds. So gotta work, right? Two facts smushed together should make another fact, sort of. And speaking of the stress, though, there's no joke. If you really want to beat stress, of course, activity. Get that heart rate up. I still run, so a few miles a week, and that's what keeps me going. So I strongly urge folks to remain active. Do what you can, and that's the best way to get along. And today, what I'm going to do, though, okay, let's get back on topic here, is I bought some wire shelving. As you can see, things have changed quite a bit here with the appearance of this. This is a seed locker that I made some time ago, and it's one of those major projects that I did that I didn't even bother to turn on the camera. I may have a few segments left of pictures just to have as I like before and after pictures kind of thing. So I may have those. So I'll try to find those and put them up. But what I did here is the way I built this was, I've got sliding drawers here, and on the top is where I store my seeds. It has little air holes, but they're basically in the dark. And I like efficiency, so therefore what this actually is I've got portions down here, in other words the containers that I'm going to put media in. In the middle I've got the dirt, the media, whatever I'm going to use, and then on top I've got the seeds. That's how that works. And I just slide it in and out, and I work in one spot. I'm not moving anywhere. I'm not taking any steps to complete a tray, because maybe another step to put it up. So that's pretty much how that works. Okay, I've got the water. It's a station. So okay, now so it's kind of like Einstein, right? You can't get simple enough. And believe me, as an old computer engineer, simple is definitely the way to go. Any sort of technology, you will be a slave to it, in my opinion. All right, so what I've done here is I've got 5-footers, and I got, they're basically 4-shelf and 5-shelf units. This goes 5 feet, these go 4 feet, something like that. Now this goes 6, I think this goes 6. The two of them together come within a few inches of the ceiling. All right, so what I want to do is, I want to attach these, and that system actually doesn't exist, where you can attach 2 shelf units end to end to make it higher. Now, if anybody owns these 5 shelf units, these poles, they do go together in the center with a little threaded insert. That threaded insert portion is only in the middle. They're not on either end of the poles, which I suspected, because in manufacturing it would take a lot of time to flip the pole and thread the other end if you're not going to use it. These are actually just pressed in. This is the foot that I'm working on now, the adjustable foot. This is metal. It's a rubber-footed metal rod, but it screws into a plastic metal threaded insert. And those are what I'm going to use to attach the two together solidly and confidently and safely. So, and to do that, I had to go to the hardware store across the street, Sunnycrest. They're online, so I'll put a link in the description for you, and you can find anything you want from Home Depot there. Plus, anyway, these screw right in here. These are just little segmented threaded rods, 3/16, and that's what goes in here. And then, of course, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them foot to foot, and I'm going to take the 5-footer and take the feet out of it and put it on top. And these shelves, of course, they'll get turned around. And now on the bottoms, now this will take away our leveling capability, so we have to reestablish that if we want to use that. So what I've done is, again, at Sunnycrest, don't know if they have anything like this at Home Depot or Lowe's or anything like that. Sunnycrest has an amazing hardware that puts Home Depot to shame, because they service farmers. All right, so we're in a farming area, so believe me, hardware's a big thing. So I've got these. These will pop right into the metal, and then these are typically replacement feet for refrigerators, but it all works together. So then you screw these in the tops, which will become the bottom, and now we have our leveling feet again. So a little bit of working around, and this is a project that I felt like it was worth showing you, that I don't see anybody do on YouTube. I like doing unique stuff. So now what we're going to do is the 5-foot, of course we're going to take the shelf completely apart, because I'm going to screw the pole individually in here so I can get this nice and snug. And I'm about done yakking, and we're going to hit the fast forward. Nice little music, I hope, and let you folks enjoy. And as soon as we get this built, then we're going to move on to the lights, because there is some good information that I want to share with you on that. Some very important information, some money-saving information. All right, let's go. Well, I had an accident yesterday. That's what I'm looking at. Let me show you. Horrible. I had one of my San Marzanos, the biggest one, as a matter of fact. He was like this, and he was really beginning to lean over. And as the day progressed, our plan was to tie everything up. We didn't get to him quick enough. He broke. Minutes before we began, we had planned to start the project. And he may have made it, the soil had been more wet, but it's neither here nor there. I should have got to him sooner. And last night, he was bleeding all night, and I had nothing here. Nothing to stop the bleeding. I was a little worried about it, but I can see this morning that he's just moving on, moving on. The reason I was happy is because now I think we have two. I had not cut these bottom leaves off yet. No, I'd already cut the bottom stems, okay? The bottom leaves. So these were the little things that stick out in the elbows and the little croaks, and they had begun to grow. And I see that overnight, it has stopped bleeding, thankfully. And this guy right here especially, he's much larger, and even he is going to be larger. So, proved it, like, man, did I ever give it a haircut. Wow. But, one thing I know about tomatoes and other plants of this type is that you can regrow them in water. So as soon as we cut him and we put him in water, so he will be fine. We won't get any tomatoes from him until probably the very last. He was going to be first, and now he's going to be last, but that's okay by us. So this will reroot, and then I'll plant him again. Is what's going to happen now. But it's going to take him some time to grow roots, and then once he hits soil again, then things will be looking up. I may add nutrients to this water today. So I felt so bad. You guys have any suggestions about how to seal up a plant that's been severely injured and how I can stop the bleeding? Let me know. Maybe I could have dripped some melted wax over it. I just didn't have anything that I could think of that I could safely put over it. I would have tried duct tape if I had it. But he stopped bleeding, so, and life will find a way. Okay, so let's get into the plants now. Let's report on that because, like I said, I have amazing growth. So, I'm gonna wash my hands before I touch my plants. Alright, I'll get closer, but a little bit of a reposition right now. But this is to help you understand what's going on here. And this is actually supposed to be put up here. Okay, something like that. So what these are, this is one-way reflective film. That was actually a prop for a lead-in. Pardon that. Man, I hope I can edit something like that out. Okay, so what we have here is, we discussed a little bit here. I've got the reflective film. This is a one-way mirrored reflective plastic film. And what it does, you see it's a mirror on one side, but yet you can see through it. So this is how they make one-way glass now. And it's ideal. It's a bit pricey. I'm going to look for another option. If not, then you'll see more of this on this. It really helps because I'm using lights and augmenting the time under light. I only get 4 hours of really good sun here, which is quite a bit. It's actually it really heats things up in here to the point where it gets too hot up top. And so I have double glazed glass up top, and I've sealed this place off so that what I've done is I've taken the temperate zone from Maryland and moved it to Georgia with the double pane glass. But now I have a problem with heat at the top, and it gets really hot in here during the day, so I actually have to cool, not heat, right now. So that is why, if you'll see my HEPA filter, I've put it up top, and this is going to blow on full blast. It's going to blow the hot air across the ceiling and remove it from the top area of the shelving. I don't have anything up there right now, and I'll raise that up to show you. So, but the top shelf is completely empty because of the heat up there. So I've been blowing room air across that to cool that area down. It's working great. And today plants are going to be put up there. I learned a hard lesson because I don't have them now. No, I don't have them now, but I had put herbs up there to keep them warm. They had just germinated. They had a pretty good start. Not good enough because they all died from the heat. So, well, a few of them survived, and some of them that were completely fallen over when I put water on them, they came back. So, I tell you, plants like me. So, all right. So now we're going to get into the lights, and what I have going here are 3 different kinds of lights. I have these. These are Mosthink, and we have a 15 watt and a 20 watt, and I'll put all the details of these in the description, but these are the red and blue. Yeah, 2 red, 1 blue, and they work great for the microgreens. And I ran across a video about a fella who's retired, Detroit I think, and he grows lettuce and basil and things like that completely indoors, and he uses the red and green lights. So that led me to getting some red and green lights, and to the best that I can figure, exactly what he uses. So these are, there's a lot more red than there is blue on this as well, but there's also white lights in these. And they are designed, let me show you what I'm looking at. Yeah. They're designed to cover, you get 2 of them in a pack from Amazon, and they are designed to cover a 3x3 square. But if you turn one to the side, you've got the 3 foot. But this shelf is only 2 foot, so one should do per shelf like this. So I have one here and I have one down there. And then up here, I have a combination. And let me move the camera. Alright. So this is an emergency heater for the space, and I haven't had to use it. It's simply there to butt my head on for right now. I'm going up the ladder. So this is where I have the Barina lights. That's these little 15-watt strips, and they are full spectrum. And when they're on, you may be able to tell there's a pinkish glow to them. Okay, and these big guys right here, these are simply, these are also LEDs, but these are daylight. And they're advertised to be 40 watt, but they're actually 80. I measure them. I pay a light bill, I measure everything. And I don't know if they do anything, so I've turned them off. Now, the best I can tell right now, believe it or not, are these Barina strips, because they have on the shelf that they're being used, the lettuce has absolutely exploded up here. As you can see, this guy, I think he's 5 weeks. He looks ready to harvest. And he has another 3 weeks to go. And so I put more up here, and as soon as I can cool things down up top, I have more Barina up here. So I'm going to go with the Barina. I'm going to go against the guy who grows lettuce and basil for a living. Number one, he'd admit he's not making a profit yet. So there's no point in doing what he's doing. He's not making a profit. I think he crowdfunds, and that's something I would never do. Anyway, so, and I have oak leaf lettuce right here. They also exploded under the Barinas, which is actually it's one down, because these were still, they got transplanted yesterday, and I did not. We did not film that transplanting, because I've shown it to you once already, and it was a repeat what we did. I could show you more, because we're going to continue staggering our planting so that we have a full tent of vegetables year-round. So, okay, so this is oak leaf, and a combination of oak leaf and red salad. And they jumped up pretty good as well. And here's my control. This guy, he said he had until yesterday, he'd been sitting outside. So I've got this versus that. That's full sunlight, and that's with lights, sunlight and lights. So we're on the right track, and I'm excited to be able to present this very soon. I've got Swiss chard going here. I've got kale. I don't even know what some of this stuff is. Yeah, that's kale. And I don't know what's in the back. I know what I have planted. I just don't know from the appearance yet. Did I mention I'm a beginning gardener? But yeah, it's time for close-ups. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to set down the control first. This is outdoors only, and this is freckled lettuce. All right, Can you see that okay? Yep. Okay, and this is also freckled lettuce, sun with the little Barina pink lights, little 15-watt light strips. Okay, now here's a bit of a mistake. All right, and as you can see the difference, let me move things to the camera so you can see better. I want to point out these two right here. These have been growing side by side, and this is full. This is full. This, however, even though it has large leaves, I'm going to turn it just so you can see it a little bit better. It is very leggy, what they call leggy. There's a lot of stem in between each leaf, and that's not good. That's an indication that it's not getting enough light. And how I made this mistake was, even though it was getting the same sunlight, this guy was in the corner. And even though I had planned on rotating every day and shuffling, somehow this guy got missed. And he's gotten leggy. And I don't know if I can save him, but I'm sure going to eat him. So this one I'm going to eat. And this one will go to the market. And I've learned a lesson. Even if you're lighting, keep the light going, move things around, avoid hot spots, all kinds of stuff like that. I want to show you how tightly packed the leaves are growing out of the stem. Okay, and like I said, I don't know much, but that looks right. That certainly looks right. And I've also had my first incidents with mold, and I was able to kill that, because I can still, something like this I can carry outside. So Sunshine took care of that. Sunshine, a little hydrogen peroxide sprayed on the soil, took care of all that. Now, I'm sure you're curious about everything that was up there, so let's take a look at this. So this guy was right here in the corner like this, and we're going to move him over to here, and they really don't like their leaves fiddled with too much, so you have to be really careful, otherwise you'll break the stem. And this guy right here, same guy, but he's farther behind in planting, so I just have him there. And I was starting to get so much lettuce that I cut back, but I really like the way it's going, so I'm going to go and do another full planting very, very soon. So, okay. Now, as you can see, they're very tightly packed, and that's still my plan, is to tightly pack this stuff and let everything grow up out of the baggie, and that seems to be working just fine right now. It's keeping the leaves nice and healthy all the way to the bottom. I only seem to lose one occasional leaf, and likely that was due to overwatering in the beginning when I first started planting these guys, which also caused the mold. So when you're indoor gardening, slightly damp soil would be my advice. So that's how I would do it. Okay, so turn him. And I might even add just a little bit of soil there just to give him. All right, I'm just adding a little bit of soil. This is sort of like, no, honey, you don't look fat in stripes. Or, no, you don't look leggy. Let's just add a little bit more soil so now you don't appear to be leggy anymore. And that seems to work. So, we have one damaged major leaf. So he'll be the first one to get snipped for sandwiches. And there we are with that. So added a little bit of soil and gently uncurl his leaves. All right. So the tops are showing. That looks like the bottom, but I think it's the top. But that looks like the top. Either way. Okay, so there's that guy. Now, once again, my plan is to grow these very close together and encourage the leaves to grow straight up. You really have to be careful with lettuce because the leaves will stick to your hands and you'll really tear the leaves, and tearing the leaves is not good. That's really going to hurt the, salad making ability of the plant. So there we go. The big boy's been pushing him over, so I'm going to turn one, and that's all he gets. So he's got one good leaf turned up, a couple down here. So he should be okay. And I'm going to point him toward this end, this side toward the window, where that side had spent a lot of time toward the window. If you do have sunlight, I tell you, I would take advantage of it. Any at all. Okay. All right. So here we are. This is what was transplanted yesterday. It was doing nothing for a couple of weeks, and then suddenly it turned around and it. So we transplanted it right away yesterday, and it's doing very nicely. It likes that it was transplanted. Everything is nice and healthy looking. It's real happy. Slightly damp soil because it's indoors. Slightly. Emphasis on the slightly when it comes to your soil. Lettuce doesn't like a lot of water, and it certainly doesn't like water at the bottom. So that's what I've heard. Okay, I'm fairly convinced that the lights are doing something. They're making a contribution, and that they're worth the price that we're paying for them. But they're, speaking of price, okay, the red and blue lights right there, they were a good bit more expensive than the Barina 8-pack. So I think the Barinas are a better value. And I'm convinced that the lights are making a difference. So I'm going to put him inside. I also have a kale and a Swiss chard out there, a couple of different things, and they're all smaller than what's growing in here. So we have a variety that's doing better with the lights. All right, so all right, we put this together, and then next time you see it. Now I'm not going to bore you, but I have to tie up my tomatoes today, and I'm going to use the Eliot Coleman method. I don't know if you've seen that. Somehow they have there's an industry out there that makes a lot of money where you put a stick in the ground or something, or I think you tie a stake to the string to the ground and tie it up, and they have these little plastic clips made in China. Fairly expensive, I'm sure, but you're supposed to clip your tomato plant up that. But Eliot Coleman has showed us how to just take a string, tie it to the base, and then wind the vine around the string. and it doesn't cost you anything except a piece of sisal. So that's what we're doing here. And it seems to be working just great. We've got a nice relaxing wind going on here. To land here. Here's the plant that I told you that it had broke off last night. And I was so worried. It was bleeding last night. It was dripping. It's life fluid down all night long. Enough that it even made a divot in the soil. So, but it has stopped and seems to be sealing itself off. And those two right there have like quadrupled in size since last night. So it's coming back as quickly as it can. Talk about pruning. Woo! Now that was a prune job, let me tell you. We'll see. We'll see. And here's what broke off moments before I can get it trimmed. Now, from what I know about this tomato plant, I'm pretty sure is it also has. Let me show you. I went ahead and I clipped these bottom two leaves off, and they also have. See the little leaves bundles starting to grow there in the elbows, the crooks. Those should. That's where new roots will sprout from. So that area will become roots, not leaves. And here's where I have one here. So I've made a very loose knot here, near the bottom, near us, underneath a couple of leaf shoots. And then from there, I just take it and I gently wind it around. And that's as far as I can wind it today. But once it grows a little bit more, I'll take another wind. But you just wind it up. You don't need those clips. I would suggest sisal. Okay. And these are all at different stages because, you know, I want tomatoes for a long time. All right, I do believe we're going to end this series on the growing now. We'll check back in from time to time, especially once the farmer's market gets going, and we'll be doing a bit with that. But we're going to move on to other subjects, and perhaps come up with something unique for next time. I hope you've enjoyed. I really do, and I hope you've learned something here, and I really do hope that you try for yourself some indoor growing. And as you can see, the benefits are amazing. I threw some arugula in a bowl with a new media that I'm trying, and working well. So, things sure do like to grow. Just moderation in everything, and lots of sunlight, and a little bit of water, some decent dirt, and things will grow. So try it for yourself. I want y'all to take care now. Bye-bye.